Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Friday, November 27th. Before we get into today's play of the day, a couple of announcements. First of all, I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently today. I know that we've been covering college basketball on the plays of the day and in the joint show with Scott Steen. However, since there are so many college football games on Friday, we are going to be skipping the joint show for college basketball and only do college football. So for that reason, I will be doing college basketball by myself for today. Probably going to be the case for the weekend with the NFL, etc. We're going to find out. But either or, that will be something you might notice in the future. Now, for today's video, before we start recapping what happened yesterday, I'm going to be doing several videos today instead of the past where I've been doing multiple plays in one video from time to time. Instead, for the sake of college basketball, etc., I'm going to be making multiple videos if I have multiple plays. Just that way, it's a little bit more organized and how if you're looking for certain plays, if you look at the title, it's only going to have the name of one game, for example, instead of covering all of them. So for that reason, I think it would make a lot more sense if I just do multiple videos instead. So other than that, though, we're finally going to dive in. We're going to be talking about what happened yesterday. We were flawless yesterday. We ended up going undefeated, went 5-0, and we ended up having a very nice day. To recap everything, we had Gonzaga -4 at -112 on DraftKings. We had North Texas -33.5 at -110 on FanDuel, which I gave out in the joint show with Scott Steen. The top two I actually did. With Villanova -5 as well, -110 on DraftKings. All three of those were from the joint show. We also had the Texans -2.5 earlier in the week before that line went to 3 at -110 on FanDuel. And we also had the play of the day winner yesterday with Illinois -37.5, and they ended up winning that game by 50, like I thought they would. So we ended up sweeping the board, and we ended up going 5-0 for plus 4.49 units. Great day overall. Definitely needed it after, well, let's be real, I got absolutely smacked this past weekend. So it's very nice to bounce back here with some nice winners. But we're going to be looking at the play of the day, or the first play, I should say, that's going to be on a matchup between Gonzaga and a very, very underwhelming performer in the opener was Auburn. And for this game, we're going to be taking Gonzaga -13.5, which is available at -114 on FanDuel, a time recording of 1:10 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like Gonzaga -13.5 in this spot. First of all, the line's mostly at -14 at pretty much every other book. BetOnline, for some reason, has -16, which I guess makes sense because this line should climb a lot higher, but I guess they're preying on people to take Auburn because opening a line 2 points away from every other book is a very bold proposition. You don't exactly see that often. But simply put, Gonzaga is the much better team. I talked about yesterday ad nauseum how going to the matchup with Kansas is the best team in the country. This team's loaded. This team's great at every position. They scored 102 points against the number 6 team in the country. This team's offense is just so deep and so potent that this team should end up scoring at least 90 points in almost every game they play. They are really that good. Now, looking at what happened, beat Kansas by 12. Game was pretty close for a little while, but offensively, they did whatever they wanted. Kansas had no answers, and Gonzaga, whether it was Timmy on the inside, whether it was Suggs, whether it was pretty much anybody, Kispert also couldn't miss from the floor. They were just great, and Gonzaga should be able to have a field day with Auburn's defense, as Auburn really struggled yesterday as they ended up barely beating St. Joe's. They had to come from behind, ended up winning in overtime. I know Auburn is known for being a pretty good team under Bruce Pearl, but they lost a ton of key pieces from last year's team. They lost each of their top 4 scorers. They lost Dowdy, they lost Okoro, they lost McCormick, they lost Wiley. This team is just not the same team that they were last year, or they ended up making a decent run in the last couple of tournaments. So this team's been good in recent years. This team should maybe figure it out later on. But this early in the season, it makes sense they struggled against St. Joe's, and now they have to face off against Goliath in Gonzaga, 13.5. This line should end up climbing to probably around 16 or 17. Gonzaga should get a ton of money. They ended up killing Kansas. Kansas still has a very solid offensive team. Defensively, Gonzaga could use some work. But at the end of the day, Auburn's offense is a lot worse than Kansas's based on talent alone. And I think Gonzaga should cruise, and they should win this game probably by 20+. So for this video, for this play of the day, we're going to be looking at Gonzaga, and that's going to be the play of the day. Gonzaga -13.5 or -114 on FanDuel. I'll be back with another video, or another 2 videos, I should say, in the next couple of minutes, depending on when these get uploaded. Other than that, that's been the installment Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.